At a time when Nigerians wallow in biting hunger and excruciating hardship, which recently has actually snowballed into the deadly end bad governance and hunger protest, which has actually sparked off mixed reactions. The honorable members of the Green Chamber and also the upper chamber, which happens to be the red chamber, the Senate, have been, will I say, like a desical about the existence of the Nigerian people. Why? Because of refusal to actually lay bare the jumbo pay. Shrouded in secrecy, it has actually raised questions over the period as to why this should be. I have with me Olaiton Babatunde, who will actually be dissecting on issues regarding the topic. Olaiton, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon.
What can you say briefly concerning our jumbo pay lawmakers who are actually meant to represent us but actually are representing themselves?
Okay, the National Assembly of the Federal Republic operates under the bicameral legislature, and we have 109 senators and 360 House of Representatives. Talking about their jumbo pay and comparing it with the minimum wage, there's need to discuss their secrecy. The fact that they're keeping it secret means there's something that we need to talk about and we need to dig deep about.
We've heard that briefly from Olaiton. So you will join us in the next phase on the show as we take a deep dive regarding jumbo pay of our lawmakers who are, would I say, refuse to apply discretion in their spending rates. Join us in the next phase of the show, but before you do that, you do want to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us across various social media platforms. Welcome back to the show. The show is Viewpoint, where we discover perspectives and embrace dialogue. I said earlier on, I have with me my 2IC, my second in command, actually, who will be dissecting on issues regarding the jumbo pay of the lawmakers. Olaiton, recent controversies over the exact amount each lawmaker earns per month has, over the years, been shrouded in secrecy. Now, but recently, a member of the National Assembly representing Kano South Senatorial District, Sumali Akawu, courted the anger of his colleagues when he revealed that he earns over 21 million naira as salaries and allowances monthly. Now, this disclosure came a day after the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission, the RMAFC, revealed that each of the Nigerian senators receive a total of 1 million plus in salary and allowances per month. Now, with the scourging hunger in the land, now, will you agree that this is indeed unraveling?
It's actually shocking and appalling to hear that they collect that amount of money, but because we do not have evidence, he only said it, we can't be so sure. But looking at the 1 million naira that they get paid according to RMAFC, and looking at the minimum wage normal individual collect in Nigeria, there's a wide range of gap. 1 million naira to 30,000 naira, thanks to the president who reviewed the minimum wage as of last month to 70,000 naira. Looking at the 1 million naira and 70,000 naira, it's a whole lot of money. Now, let's compare Nigeria GDP with that of Ghana. Ghana, as of this moment, when we convert the naira to Ghanaian cedi, is about 101. So that means if I have a 100 naira, I can only buy something of 1 cedi in Ghana. And as of this moment, in their own National Assembly, they have about 275 senators. And they get paid, according to my research, 200,000 when we convert it to naira. Now, their minimum wage over there is also for 49,000. Let's round that up to 50,000 naira. Let's say they collect 50,000 naira. There's only a difference of 150,000 naira compared to a million naira. Let's run Nigeria minimum wage to 100,000 naira, although the 70,000 minimum wage has not been implemented, but let's assume we're collecting 100,000 naira. That's a difference of 900,000 naira. Now we're overlooking the fact that they said they are even collecting 13 million naira. There's a sale of 21 million naira. Let's overlook that. The one that the RMFAC talked about. And then looking at the hunger in the country and my statistics, if this money is slashed, there's a lot it can do for Nigerian economy. If we should analyze it, there's a lot that can be done for Nigeria.
Okay, there's a lot now that can be done for Nigeria. Now, let me key into that word which you actually said now. each senator or each House of Rep member is
Yeah.
actually representing a constituency.
Yeah.
So far, so good. We have major cities like Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, and Calabar.
Yeah.
These places, particularly in the capital, are highly developed. Let's not blame it on the post-colonial era or maybe the current days now, which we speak now.
Okay.
What have the governments actually been doing? Should we actually blame the chief executive who is actually at the federal level or at the state level? But actually, fingers should also be pointed at these people, because oftentimes we blame governors or we blame the president now. Don't you think bodies should actually be set up? What is the EFCC now doing concerning these Senate members now? Because they appear immune, or will I say they abuse the immunity clause? That's another thing.
Okay, I think the reason why we have a senatorial district, the reason why we have constituencies is because there's need for these people to hear from the people on the lower cadre, like the citizen of the country, and then take it to the government. So if the EFCC are not doing too much about this, I feel they are immune. Working with the federal government as a senator, there's immunity that comes with all of this, if we should look at it. Of course, before you become a senator, there are a lot of things that goes in with that, and then there are some benefits that you enjoy. I really cannot say the reason why the EFCC are not looking into this, but we can't also blame them for not looking into it, because these people have their immunity, and it's not as if they're earning this money illegally. These are money that are paid to them. Of course, we can't be so sure that they get 30 million or is still the 1 million naira, but the immunity is because
that
this is...
means that the constitution now is a deliberate irrationality. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
To serve their interest, right?
Yeah, maybe not.
Okay. No, a breakdown now of the take-home pay of the legislators revealed that each senator receives a monthly jumbo pay of 1 million plus.
Yeah.
Consisting of basic salaries, which are actually running into hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands, from personal assistants, motor vehicle, and we know when they are going in a motorcade of convoy, we can see practically close to 10 vehicles which are going or churning out now. Isn't this a sense of irrationality now? What's your take now on the breakdown? Because if we look at it, some months back, a particular senator actually said that there's need for him to get a new vehicle, bulletproof, close to 156 billion. Why? Because his roads are bad. Now, every constituency receives allowances. Now, what is there for the actual senator or probably a House of Rep member to forfeit some of these allowances and forgo them? Why? Because some of them were already established even before they got into power. Don't you feel a sense of irrationality when it comes to representing their constituencies financially?
Okay, let's look at the breakdown. I'm just going to pick out some things. I'm going to pick out the fee they collect for entertainment, which is about 50,000 naira. We have for wardrobe allowance. I'm not talking about the changes that are like, we have 50,000 and 200, and I'm not talking about that. So let's talk about the bulk money now. For entertainment, we have 50,000 naira. For wardrobe allowance, we have 42,000 naira. And for newspaper allowance, we have 25,330 naira.
How much is a newspaper publication?
At the last time I checked, it's for 200 naira.
And
so that means if we calculate it, okay, for a month, that's 6,200 naira. But then they collect 25,000 naira. Now, if we should multiply this by 12, for entertainment, we have 600,000 in a year. And then for the space of that 4 years, 2.4 million naira. Now, for wardrobe allowance, we have 504,000 in a year. For the 4 years, we have 2.16 million naira. For newspaper allowance, which they can give them 6,200 naira, but they decided to give them 25,000 naira. I don't know, maybe for the people in the higher cadre, maybe they buy it for a huge amount of money, say for 10,000 naira, but at our side, it's just for 200 naira. Let's say 500 naira. Now, 300,000 in a year and 1.2 million in 4 years. Calculating all of this, we have 5.76 million naira at the end of their whole tenure. Okay. Now, if we slash this, that means they will be collecting 2.88 million. I'm not talking about their pay, the money for the domestic. I'm not talking about all of that because those ones are necessary. I'm just talking about the things that I see as minor and not so necessary. Now, we have 2.88 million naira multiplied by 109 persons, 109 senators. Now, we're not talking about the House of Rep. We're talking about the senators alone. At the end of 4 years, the country will have about 313 million naira.
Okay, let's leave all these millions.
Okay.
Because even when Fela Nicola Pokuti was even singing back then, he was talking about embezzlement in millions. It didn't really make sense, but now it's making sense. we will say now, this irrationality now, what is actually stopping Nigerians from behaving like Kenyans in assaulting the National Assembly so that at least the constitution can be reviewed concerning this? Because this is a constitutional theft, let's put it that way. Because constituencies in which they are representing, nothing is going on there regarding development, whether resource-wise or human resources, nothing is going on there. How long will now the country now continue with this? How can it be checkmated?
The problem is we don't have the awareness. Not many people know about this. And the people that know about it, because we have just little people, few people that have this awareness that knows about, okay, if we should do it this way, if we should do it that way, there's something good that can come out of it. Not many people are aware of that. Nigerians are all about, I'm hungry now, feed me. Once you feed me and I'm comfortable, we're good.
So that means the level of intelligence is limited.
I won't say that they're not so intelligent, but I would say that they're not looking at the other thing. That's why the government, most times when there's protest, the government always try and make sure that whatever the people are asking for, they do it at that point in time. But so far, I've not seen any Nigerian come out and say they want to checkmate the amounts the senators collect in a year. I think around 2020, Senator Simon Caro, he was a senator between 2015 and 2019, said that House of Rep, as a member of House of Rep, they collect 9.3 million naira. And now, according to RMAFC, they said the senators collect 1 million naira, let's say over 1 million naira. Are we saying the subordinates are collecting more than the superior? Because looking at it, the senators are on the superior side compared to the House of Rep. Now, someone in the House of Rep said we collect 9.3 million. Someone in the senatorial district is saying we collect 1.3 million. That means there's something that we don't know. And if we do not know something, it is almost difficult to fight it.
Coming to that, it therefore means you're trying to say that both the senators or maybe bodies that are even trying to harass the senators for revealing how much they actually earn are being economical with the truth. Or maybe, for instance, we might speak in local parlance, they are pushing Nigerians' basbos. If I may use that language now.
Yeah, maybe.
Going over to that, following up what you said now, Olusegun Obasanjo, who was formerly president from 1999 to 2007, while receiving an audience, a 6-member panel from the House of Reps, he rebuked the federal lawmakers for fixing their own salaries and emoluments. Now, before I proceed now, actually, a standard protocol that should be observed, that is actually the HR should actually fix up salaries for the staff.
Yeah.
Now, in a case whereby a federal structure is set up now, should it be right whereby the lawmakers are actually dictating the tune concerning their salaries? The RMAFC is actually there on board, but do you feel or think maybe the RMC is not actually functioning as it should be?
I'm looking at the situation of things and the context you brought up about the HR fixing prices. It's quite shocking that it's the staff that are dictating how much they want to get paid.
Okay.
It's, to me, is wrong. Why do we have the chief of staff? Why do we have the RMFAC, like you said? Why do we have them if the member of the House of the National Assembly still dictates the amounts they want to get paid? What are they doing there? They are the ones that are supposed to be in charge of this. And for other people to say that they get more than that, it means that the RMFAC is really not coming out clean and telling us the things we need to know as citizens of the country. Maybe just because they don't want misinformation, like they said. And, I think they refuted what former President Obasanjo said and said that it was not true. And, they talked about the amounts they pay. Probably when we have our facts and evidence, we can actually say that, okay, this is what it has to be. And like I said earlier, when there is no evidence, when there's nothing to fight, it's almost difficult for people to fight it.
So it therefore means that it's more angelic or satanic, when we put it that way. Now, yeah. It's a case, if we look at it sincerely, I will call it a moral act. Why? Because these senators have businesses outside the country, yet still they are still impoverishing the nation with their allowances, yet still there's hunger in the land. So we will now say now, however, in any statements, which we've just said now, Shehu Sani and Sergio Zogun, these are former lawmakers. They had also recently quoted different figures as emoluments for lawmakers and also challenge those who are serving currently under the 10th Assembly to make public what they earn. Now, Shehu Sani, I quote, which he said, he was representing actually 2015 to 2019 in Kaduna Senatorial District. He maintained that he received 13 million naira every month as a member in the 8th Senate. This was during the Saraki era. Now, in the 10th Senate, they received 21 million naira monthly. He had some time in 2019 publicly disclosing that each senator collects a particular amount, which of course is quite unwholesome. Now, on their own part, is there a mix? Who do we believe now? Because even the Senate on its own part has actually denied that they are not caught out for propaganda, which is actually being churned out. Who do we tend to believe now?
Okay, so at this point, I think it's difficult to know who is telling the truth. Because, okay, like I said earlier, that in 2020, Simon Caro said they earned 9.3 million naira monthly. And now Shehu is also saying something about 13 million as a member of the 8th members of the senatorial district. Now, looking at this information that we have, it means that whatever Shehu is saying might be true. Because comparing 9.3 million for a House of Rep, who is just their subordinate, to 30 million naira, I think it's not really so bad. But since the RMAFC are saying they're paying 1 million naira and they're like bringing in the evidence, okay, they only get over 1 million naira per month. That is the evidence that we have. I can't really say if Shehu is saying the truth or if Simon Caro was saying the truth or it is the RMAFC that is saying the truth. But regardless, I feel that in all of this, we have to operate on transparency. I think that is one thing that will also keep the country moving and will keep us going. But the fact that I still stand on the fact that they're trying to keep it a secret means there's something that needs to be talked about. If the former president of the country says that they should not say by themselves, okay, this is the amount I want to get paid, this is the amount that should be paid to my account. If the former president is saying that, now a former House of Rep also said something related to that, and now presently Shehu is also saying something like that. I think we have our evidence, but then we would need more facts in order to be able to tap them and say that, okay, this is what's going on, and checkmate them. This is the evidence that we have, and this is what we're working on. So we need more evidence, more than mere say, like, okay, this is what we hear. More than here, say, like, okay, this is what he said, this is what this person said. Because the RMFSC, as of this moment, are bringing out evidence that this is the amount they pay them. So if they would do more, if they want change, if they want Nigerians to look into it, I think they should not just say, but they should bring out evidence to back up what they're saying.
That's right. We've heard it from Olaito Babatunde, and she has been giving us extensive insight as to morality and immorality, transparency, and also accountability, if I may use those words, concerning the secrecy shrouded around the jumbo pay of the lawmakers. Now, the refusal to actually disseminate or reveal how much the House of Rep members or legislators or lawmakers are actually making has actually been a topical issue right from the 1999 period up until now, this current dispensation, which is actually something that people just, should I say, choose to treat as an oversight. But with this unraveling information from the likes of Shehu Sani and, of course, a senator in the 10th Senate, we just believe and remain hopeful or optimistic that the Nigerian people are actually bailed out from this quagmire in the long run. Olaito, it's been nice having you on the show.
Thank you for bringing me on the show.
The show has been Viewpoint, where we discover perspectives and embrace dialogue. You do want to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us across various social media platforms. Thanks for watching.